Welcome to Stoughton Media Access Corporation's Community Forum Show. My name is Steve Kelley. I'll be your host. And today I have a great pleasure in bringing you Ashley Haseotes. Let me get that name just right. And Ashley is the founder of a pediatric cancer foundation called One Mission.
That's right.
Right? What a wonderful story. What a wonderful thing that you're doing. Started in 2009. Tell us about how and why.
Sure. So I started One Mission after my firstborn had leukemia. So he was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia called AML. It's the more common form is ALL. It has the best success rate. It's like 97% success rate. Nicholas had AML, which back in 2006 came with a 50-50 shot he would make it 6 months. So we lived, and I'll tell you now that he's totally fine. So we're very blessed with a cure for him, although he was not predicted to have a great outcome. The type of protocol that he was on meant that we had to live in the hospital for 188 straight days.
Wow.
So we were kind of stuck in this hospital, and it was really boring.
6 months.
6 months. We never went home.
Winter or summer?
It was May to October.
So you gave up the whole summer?
The whole summer.
Inside a hospital, and I'm sure, but it was the right thing, of course.
Oh, for sure. But to your point, we were a little jealous that everybody was going on with their barbecues and their fun days at the beach. But, we'll get to that topic later. But anyway, so we were stuck in the hospital, and I'm pretty vocal. And I just happened to notice that, some of the very few fun things that we had were inconsistent. So sometimes we would have like a nice catered meal, and then that wouldn't come back for months or weeks. There weren't any good toys. There weren't any good activities. And every time I would ask, I would say why don't we have this? They would say, oh, we had funding for that once, but then we don't have it anymore. So I used to keep this literally a legal pad of paper in our hospital room, and I would write all of these things down. And I had zero idea with what I was going to do with this. Actually,
let me interrupt. How old was your son at this time?
He was 7 months old.
Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. So just 7 months, and you're just hoping, was he in one of those bubble things, or just?
Well, back then the bed could be transformed into a crib. So the walls came up, but it was a full-size bed. Now the cribs are real size cribs that the walls come up, but yeah.
7 months. Mm-hmm. How much did he weigh?
At the time, 23 pounds.
Okay.
So, because he was sick, we didn't realize it. It took us a little while to figure that out. When we left, he was maybe 19 pounds. Wow. So, yeah, it took us a little while to beef him up once we got home. Yeah.
So you were taking notes about...
Yep, so I was taking notes, and again, I didn't really know what I was going to do with that. And then Nicholas's case got really complicated. And one night we ended up in the ICU. They didn't actually expect him to make it through the night. And so we were in the elevator and got up to the ICU room. We were having a little pity party for ourselves again. And I asked the question, why? Almost every single parent I know whose child was diagnosed asks why. Even though even in the middle of asking that clearly you would never want any other child to have this, you still ask why. Why my child, right? Why this precious little child? And at the time, my husband said, I know why. And I said, why? You know why? He said, yeah, I know why, because God knows when we get out of here, we're going to make a difference. And I said, how are we going to do that? He said, I have no idea. We'll figure that out when we get home. So then I really started taking notes. Before, It was kind of like, I don't even know what I was doing. Then I really was taking notes. And it was almost a year later when we got home that I had the idea to start a charity.
So, and that brings us to one of the things that this show is going to be about. Mm-hmm. We've got a wonderful volunteer, Danny Andrews, in the background, which the audience is going to see. And what are we going to do with Dan Andrews?
We're going to shave his head.
We're going to shave Dan's head. Yay! And many of the people in Stoughton know Dan. He's a fantastic mechanic, a great family from Stoughton. So it'll be nice to see him as the star of this thing. So tell us about this shaving the head thing. How did this come about? What is it?
So the Buzz Off is our largest community event that we have. And so when you're in the hospital, the nurses really force you to take pictures. And at the time, it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, why do I want to take a picture of this? Well, anyway, and they also kind of force you to well, they encourage you to shave off the remaining hair, because especially for infants, and back then, again, we were in the bed with him, so his hair was coming off in clumps, and it was in my mouth, it was everywhere. So the nurses kept saying, like, just shave it off. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Right. Well, anyway, this one day, we get this new attending physician. She comes in with a box of clippers and says, hey, nice to meet you. You know, I'm so-and-so. Here are the clippers. Good luck. Be back in 15 minutes. And my husband and I looked at each other. We were like, what? So we shaved off his hair. And as soon as we were finished, I started hysterically crying.
Yes.
Because he already lost his eyebrows and his eyelashes from the chemo. And now we took off his remaining hair. And so as soon as we start crying, she walks back in and she says, are you okay? And I said, no, of course I'm not okay. He looks just like a cancer patient. Look at him. And she put her hand on my shoulder and she said, sweetheart, he is a cancer patient. And that's when it all hit me. And so, of course, nurses are like, take a picture. So we took a picture. Nicholas was happy as could be. He could have cared less. So I came across that photo. And he's happy as can be. And I remembered that day like it was yesterday. And I said, I really want to be a part of putting an event together that clearly raises money, because that's what the nonprofit's for, but also captures that moment. And I wanted people to kind of stand up with these cancer patients and with the families to say, like, I know that you don't have the choice to lose your hair, so I'm going to choose to lose mine in honor of you. Wow. And so I started the Buzz Off, and it's just been growing ever since.
And besides the famous Stoughton person here, where else do you do the Buzz Off?
So our largest Buzz Off is at Gillette Stadium every June.
Every June?
It's normally the first or the second Sunday in June. Every year.
Do the Patriots like help out with this?
So our ambassador is Rob Gronkowski.
Okay.
You might know him.
I think I've heard of him.
Number 87. So he's been shaving his head for us for 5 years. And he comes to the event, he gets his head shaved, then he shaves the heads of the other buzzies, and he does some press for us. It's awesome.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, and then we have some other, I think somewhere between 10 and 15 community buzz-offs where it's just, you know, a local pizza shop or a business or a school that wants to have their own buzz-off to benefit one mission. So we have those as well.
And then you have a few participating salons, and we have in studio Phil Haslinger, right?
Hasliner, yep.
Hasliner, right? And he has a salon in Sudbury, is it?
He does, Invidia Salon.
Invidia, which in Italian I guess means the envy of everybody else.
Yes.
Right? And he has a wonderful hair-cutting person, professional, Jackie Lopez. And she's going to do the honors with Mr. Andrews.
Yep.
Right? So maybe we can get Jackie in line, and we can maybe get the camera crew to focus on Dan and Jackie.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see what we have.
Okay.
Let's see if we can kind of get a sense of this. All right. So here's, do we have a cut on that, Roy? And tell us, Jackie, you have that, Dan, do you have your machine ready? So Dan, if you could just sort of step into the conversation and tell us, why are you here?
Well, I saw it in the Penny Saver advertisement, and my brother's birthday is actually today, and he passed away from cancer 2 years ago. So I figured I'd give it a call and you know, make a tribute to his birthday.
Wow, that's fantastic, Dan. So we're going to get to see what you look like on top. See if there's any kind of bulges and all that other stuff.
There you go.
All right. And Jackie, if you can just kind of hold that over your shoulder so Jackie can say hello. Hi, Jackie. How is it that you've come here?
I just volunteered because I love helping out with One Mission. It's a great charity.
Very nice. So would you like to get started?
Yeah.
All right. We'll jump right in.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I guess.
Has anyone got anything for blood? This is great. We got a good picture on this. We can actually, Ashley and I can actually take a peek right now and see Dan getting shaved on top. Whoa. Dan, can you see yourself in the monitor up there?
I took my glasses off, so no.
Oh, it's a very, very beautiful thing, Dan. Oh. Is it okay to do his eyebrows too?
No.
No. Okay.
Actually, my son shaves his head, so I'll probably look like him for
Oh, great.
All right. Dan, maybe just for a shout out, you're doing this for all the right reasons, but can you just tell us where you work?
I work at Canton Auto Clinic.
And where's that?
That's on Route 138 in Canton.
Right on 138 in Canton. And what kind of work do you do down there?
We do automotive repair.
All kinds of automotive repair. Okay, good. Even with those new cars?
All the way up to a certain year. Once they get to like the 2013, 14, we don't have the technology yet like the dealers have. So basically they're warranted anyway, so we send them to the dealer.
Right. And when does that like turn around, like every 3 years, like you can?
Yeah, it's about a three-year window, because that's usually when the warranties run out.
All right. Now, do you have somebody that you're going to surprise when you go home today with this haircut?
Yeah, my wife Kathleen.
Does she know?
Well, she knew last night. She asked me if I was going to back out this morning. So I think she's going to be surprised.
Actually, I'm going to be really honest with you now. You actually look good like
I
this.
agree.
Oh, boy.
Some people don't. In all honesty, some people just are not meant to have a kind of a close shave. And I think your head has actually got good shape.
Well, it's
Jackie, what do you think? You're in the background
I
there.
think it's a good head shape.
How many of these have you done, Jack?
Buzz offs?
Yeah.
Probably 6 or 7. I've done several at Gillette and then 2 in Dallas.
Okay, so there's probably several hundred haircuts ahead of you there. Some good
well,
quality
I'm glad you got
work.
experience.
I've seen some people that just don't have that kind of a nice shape.
You look
on top.
younger.
Really?
Yeah.
This could be permanent.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
The front's starting to meet the back anyway, so maybe.
All right.
Yay.
Hey, in studio cheer for Dan.
Okay.
And that's in memory of his brother, and also to help One
good
Mission
cause.
with its mission. So one of the things I'm going to swing back to Ashley now. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
But you do a whole bunch of things which I'm excited to share. One of the things you do is you actually transform the rooms of the children. So tell us about that.
Deck My Room is one of my favorite programs.
Yes.
So we have a child life specialist at the hospital. As soon as a patient gets diagnosed, child life specialist will come in and just ask the child what their favorite color is, what their favorite toys are, what do they like to do at home for fun. They write it all down.
Take those notes on that yellow piece of paper.
They take $1 mission and then they go shopping. And they get as many items as they possibly can find, and then they deck out the room as a surprise to the patient. So, early on into treatment, they'll have to get a line of some sort so that they can get their chemotherapy, and they have to go to the OR for that. So it's usually then that, they'll go down to the OR, child life specialist comes in, decks out the room, they come back from the OR, and they have their very special room. And everything
this is
in the
all
room.
the funds from One Mission.
Yep, exactly. That's our largest program. That program costs us $50,000 a year to put on, and we deck out about 250 rooms
Wow.
each year. Yep. So it's amazing. I've actually decked a room, and it was literally the highlight of my life. Seeing the patient come in and the surprise on her face, it was amazing.
Before I go on, just tell the audience what the website is so they can check you out.
Sure, onemission.org.
Onemission.org. That's
Yep.
the number one.
Nope, the word one.
The word one, O-N-E.
Yep, mission.
MISSION.
You got it.
.org.
You got it.
Oh, and actually we have it right up here on the screen. And there's a phone number, 508-628-9090. And if you'd like to, you can send an email off to get more information. info@onemission.org. And Ashley, would you respond to that email, or somebody in staff do that?
Somebody in the office will respond to it.
Somebody
But
in
if
the
they need
office.
me personally, they can always say, please forward this to Ashley.
Okay, please forward this to Ashley.
Yep.
And you guys have an office in Framingham, I think?
We do.
So, you're a local, very local base.
We are.
Massachusetts.
Yep.
Now, you started out at Children's Hospital, is that right?
The majority of the money that we raise goes to Children's. That's where I lived with Nicholas, my husband and I. So it's kind of where my heart is.
Yes.
And then, so when a patient is diagnosed, they do their initial treatment at Boston Children's, if they happen to be at Boston Children's, right?
Right.
And then when they get discharged, they go home, but are typically still in treatment. So then they go to the Jimmy Fund clinic.
Okay.
To get their treatments. But if they get a fever or their protocol requires them to be inpatient in the hospital, then they'll have to go back to Children's. So they're really the same families, and they're the same doctors for the most part.
Right.
So what happened is the patients were leaving the hospital They were going to the Jimmy Fund and they were saying, well, hey, where's my Taco Tuesday? Where are my free parking passes? Where's my this, my that? And so then we started to bring some of our programs over to the Jimmy Fund Clinic as well. And then for those families who maybe are in the Rhode Island area and don't travel to Boston, we have some programs at Hasbro as well.
At the Hasbro Children's
Yes.
Center there in Providence, I think it is.
Yep, and I just went there a couple weeks ago. It was amazing.
Tell us about Nicholas, how old he is and what's he doing right now.
So he's 10. He loves baseball, and he's doing great in school. He's a really, really great kid. I think that he is, like an old soul, they say. So he's just so kind. He's just really now understanding that he had cancer because he was an infant, so he doesn't remember going through it. So now he's learning about it, and that's another part of his journey for him. So.
And tell us a little bit about your husband because he's been right alongside you through this whole thing.
Yes, he has. So my husband actually worked. There's a big joke at Boston Children's.
Right.
He used to work in the hallway. So he brought his phone. He would plug it into the hallway and work from the hallways. He never left Nicholas's side. They actually tried to get him to leave, and second big joke is he threatened to handcuff himself to the sink. He's like, I'm not leaving my wife, not leaving my child. So yeah, we're really, it either makes you or it breaks you type thing.
Right.
It made us.
Like what are like the 3 takeaways that they should have?
Well, I think that, bucket lists are a big thing nowadays, and if you haven't added going bald or shaving your head on purpose to your bucket list, you should. And I think that really the reason that why I say that is not totally selfishly, but because it's doing something for somebody else and raising money for one mission. It's a way to show people that they're not alone, adults or children with cancer. So shaving your head is a great thing. But if people aren't brave enough to shave, there's a whole host of ways that they can help One Mission to deck rooms and to bring music therapy to patients. They can just go to the website to learn more.
And tell us a little bit about the doctors that you worked with and experienced it, both back with Nicholas and now.
So a lot of them are still close friends.
Yeah.
So actually, we have dinner this week coming up with one of our doctors from Dana-Farber. They're just great people. I mean, you have to be a really special person to be a pediatric oncologist, to be able to deliver that message that your child has cancer. So we love them. They're always in our heart.
A little bit about the Patriots and how they grabbed hold of you and how you grabbed hold of Rob Gronkowski to be part of this.
Yes, that was serendipitous. I met Rob when he was in his rookie year.
So he still stunk.
Yeah, right. So he was 21 years old when I met him.
Yeah.
And when we were on our way out, he came to the buzz-off and he shaved heads. It was awesome. We were on our way out and he said, hey, I'll shave my head next year. And we've been with him ever since.
Wow. So and that's great. And do you get to use the Patriots?
The big buzz-off at Gillette Stadium is in the Putnam Suite, in the Putnam Club. So yeah, we take up the whole club from end zone to end zone.
Right. Okay, I'd like to break away for a minute. I think we have to get a couple more things, and one of those couple more things that we're going to do is we're going to do another buzz-off, all right?
Yep.
And so here we have Dave Young in the background, and Dave has volunteered to shave his entire head, top and bottom, all the way through. I didn't know that, so you can catch him right now. Now we'll get him on the main screen. And Dave actually works here at SMAC.
Yes, I do.
And he has wonderfully added. So Dave, tell us about your involvement.
Well, it's the only way I could get on Community Forum. But I do walk for the Jimmy Fund,
Okay.
for the Cancer Walk, the 26.2 miles.
Awesome.
Raise money for that. And Roy asked me basically not to shave or cut. And, people know me that I mohawk, I do extremes.
And I would also say that you are extremely helpful too. And this is part of your personality.
Yes, it is.
So this is wonderful to see.
Yep.
I will mention though that Dan Andrews had a perfect head for the kind of top shave.
I have no
I'm
idea
going to have to
what
be
it's-
honest. I'm not going to lie if it comes out bad. I'm just telling you.
It's
Go ahead.
okay.
All right.
I'll survive.
Okay.
I'll survive.
All right, and we have
I
Jackie in
am
the
keeping
background.
my eyebrows,
Ah.
okay? Do not touch the eyebrows.
Okay. Jackie, maybe you could tell us about the time that you cut too deeply onto anybody?
That has thankfully never happened.
Not yet?
Not yet.
What a place to start.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you always tell your patients to move while you're cutting?
I like them to stay still, but
All right.
Jackie,
know if
what's
he
your
needs his
favorite?
ears.
What's your favorite part of the Gillette Buzz Off?
honestly, it's just talking to the different people and the different reasons why they're there. Some people are there because, they've dealt with it personally. Some people are just, because kids are sick. And it's just great to talk to those people.
As a cosmetologist.
Oh, I color hair, I perm hair.
Ah, that could be good for Dave. And,
Yeah,
and you
you
do
want a
that,
perm?
and you work in Sudbury for Invidia Salon?
I do, for
Okay.
Invidia and
For
Sudbury.
Invidia, very nice. Yeah,
You're looking good, buddy.
I think he could go with them. Would he get credit if he mohawked?
I've done that. It'll make my beautiful girlfriend very happy.
Aww.
Very nice. Yeah, she looks like she hasn't had you wince even once yet.
No,
No.
not for like 4 or 5 months. Yeah. It's the beard she wants removed.
Ah, so you're going to get all the way down to the beard.
Yeah,
And that's the part that's going to keep the young lady happy.
I know.
All right. Well, this is very nice of you, Dave, to do this.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You gonna come over, Steve?
I'm going to pass right now, but I am going to make a contribution on your behalf. How's that?
No. They should have auctioned off my head.
Right?
So one of your favorite times was when you got to do one of the rooms completely over. And what was the theme of that room that you did?
So we had a Katy Perry poster, a Taylor Swift poster. We redid her comforter and sheets, which is so cool when you're in the hospital to have like real sheets and comforter.
Oh, okay.
Then we hung butterflies from her ceiling and put tea lights all around her room, and then we hung lights all around the mirror in the bathroom.
So it really felt like almost like a fairy tale land
Exactly.
when she came back
And then we
in.
got one of those Tupperware containers that's on wheels, and we filled it with arts and crafts. Because she was like 9 or 10.
Wow.
So, and they were from, I think they were from Venezuela, actually. And so when they came in, the mom didn't speak any English. And they were like, mommy, blah, 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 like speaking Spanish. And I couldn't tell if they were happy or not. And then they both started crying, and they were like, thank you. It was amazing. It was so awesome.
Wow.
I was crying. Everybody was crying.
So what a wonderful thing. Look at that beard coming off. My goodness. What else is under there beside his chin? I don't know. This is fabulous stuff. So if you could, it's onemission.org, right? And you started in 2009, right? And Nicholas had gotten sick in 2006.
6, correct.
Right? Where do you see One Mission going from here?
That's actually a fabulous question, something I ask myself almost every night before bed. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
Any company, nonprofit, there's always room for improvement. And I want to just get more efficient at what we do, whether that's shaving more heads at Gillette
Yep.
or building our marathon. We have a big running program.
We haven't even talked about your
I
running
know,
program.
we have an
Okay,
awesome
so now
running
we've got-
program.
we're going to talk about running.
We're
now.
actually the beneficiary of Patriots Place Race Finish at the 50 this year.
Wow, what is that? I don't
Finish at
even
the
know.
50 is a run. It's either a 5K or a 10K around Foxborough, and you literally come through the tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line.
Oh, that is
So
beautiful.
cool. So we have 25 free bibs for that,
Yeah.
as long as somebody agrees to raise $500. But either way, we're the beneficiary of the race in general, so
know what
it's going to
day
be a
that
great
is? Do you
weekend.
remember?
July 3rd.
July 3rd.
Huge fireworks after.
What time does it start?
The race, it depends on which one you sign up for,
The 5
but
or
it
the
starts
10?
in the evening. The race is
Oh,
in
it's
the
an
evening.
afternoon race.
It is, and it's a whole like health and wellness expo that whole weekend.
Okay.
At Patriots Place, then the race is on Sunday, and then they finish with this extraordinary fireworks show.
So, the Patriots do more things for the community. Because, I've spoken to many groups like your own and keep coming up with new people that the Patriots are
I know.
doing.
The Kraft family, from dad down, is very philanthropic.
Yeah.
So that's just their whole mission in life, is to give back to those who are doing good, and they promote volunteerism, and they love to help out small nonprofits like One Mission.
That is really good. We're going to take a quick look back. The audience has been watching Dave getting trimmed up.
I'm behaving.
Yeah, you're behaving. Someone's got a blade near you, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got my eyebrows, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Dave. Very nice. Dave Young in studio. On behalf of One Mission, showing us all what a buzz-off is. And it's a great thing to try and align yourselves with someone who has no choice but to lose their hair.
Yeah.
And Dave and Dan here in studio have made a choice in trying to identify and saying that it's okay if you lose your hair. And I think it's a beautiful thing you guys did. And Jackie, great job in the background.
Thank you.
And Jackie's a pro on TV now. Jackie was a little nervous, and it turns out she's just perfect on TV. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. And we also, Phil, and Phil's last name is
Pat Sliner.
Pat Sliner, who has been kind enough to come to the studio as well. And he owns Invidia,
Yep, Invidia Salon
in Sudbury, and is a big contributor of time and energy over to your One Mission,
Yep.
especially at the Patriots.
At the Gillette Buzz-Off,
At
yeah.
the
Actually,
Gillette
he
Buzz-Off.
comes to all of our Buzz-Offs. We have one in Texas and one in Philly,
Yeah.
and then Gillette. So
How did you get one done in Texas, tell me?
we had a participant, a buzzee, at Gillette who used to fly in every year
Yep.
to participate, but he lived in Texas, so then he was a part of us bringing it to Texas.
Does it become too overwhelming to expand it? In all honesty, in other words, is it something you can only do so much of?
Well, that's a good point because I really feel proud about our cost ratio. I only have a staff of 3. I don't pay myself. So growing means you have to grow your infrastructure, and that means I have to pay them. So I really want to get more efficient at what we do in the office, whether that's growing our community buzz-offs, like I had said earlier, the schools and the businesses wanting to participate and have their own buzz-off. There's definitely room for growth there. I mean, like I said, we only have about 15 of those a year. Getting more efficient at Gillette, so people like you having us come on to their show and being able to grow the word on the community participating at Gillette. There's still we could shave another 1,000 heads at Gillette if we wanted to.
Okay.
So we shave about 1,100, but we could easily
You have
shave 2,000.
capacity for 2,000.
Absolutely.
So how do we draw those people in? And
Exactly.
Each of those, per people had a pod, let's say, of people supporting them.
Yep.
Right? Then that would be more funds that you could pull in.
Exactly.
So what about social media? Tell me about what you're doing on social media.
Social, we have a page. Our Twitter handle's @BuzzForKids. And
At Buzz for Kids.
@BuzzForKids, and our
For
Facebook
kids or for?
@BuzzFor, FOR.
FOR Kids?
And our Facebook page is just One Mission. Contests for people who have shaved. They send in their pictures, and then we give them a prize. We do a lot of videos.
Yeah.
I dressed up like a turkey for Thanksgiving. That was fun.
That was fun, yeah.
Yep. So in different stuff like that. But we're always using our channels to promote people participating in our buzz-offs. So we're always pushing them. Our sister website is buzzforkids.org. Either way, you could get to the buzz-off through One Mission, but our sister website is Buzz for Kids. So we're always pushing people there so that they can learn more about the buzz-off, learn more about, other buzzies who have participated, seeing the before and after pictures. I think once people actually see it, they're less scared.
It sounds like so much fun.
It's so much fun.
I mean, it's more fun than, say, a charity that you feel like you're working all the time. It feels like you're more having fun while you're working.
Yeah, I love my job.
Yeah. Oh, and I want you to repeat one thing that you did say. How much are you getting paid?
0.
So this is from the heart.
Yeah, for sure.
From the heart. And so you have a few people on staff to try and help get the stuff done.
Yep.
But this is for you, this is a mission of love.
Yes. I tried to duplicate myself, but it didn't work. So I needed to hire some staff. Yeah.
No, you need staff to get things out,
Yeah.
send mailings, follow up on things. Yeah. So you do that. So, okay. Well, it's been a wonderful show.
Thank you. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you too, and I think you're doing a great thing. We have just on screen now www.onemission.org, 508-628-9090, info@onemission.org. And this has been Ashley Haseotes on behalf of One Mission. In the background, Jackie Lopez. I'm working on Phil's name from Invidia Salon. Danny Andrews, who's a fantastic mechanic here in Stoughton and Canton, does a great job and just buzzed his head. Dave Young as well. We've got Leo McGowan out back, Mike Hammond, and Roy Cohen We want to thank everybody, and most especially, we want to thank the audience for watching.